Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech, protected.
Did we need a sequel to Sleepaway Camp?
Sure.
Is this a good sequel to Sleepaway Camp?
That's a different story.
Is there a good sequel to Sleepaway Camp?
I don't know, son. I just don't know.
All this and more on Gory Storytime.
Warning. Gory Storytime is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Welcome to Gory Storytime. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig. And this week, we're reviewing the unfortunate sequel to Sleepaway Camp. And I'm not saying that because I do or don't like the movie. I am saying that because it's unfortunate that they considered this a sequel to Sleepaway Camp. And we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Here's the premise. If you've seen Sleepaway Camp, forget that. This is just crazy person killing a bunch of teenagers for doing the same type of stuff that every camping horror movie
does.
It's like sex, drugs, rock and roll,
death.
Die. Without the interesting reasons of the first one.
Yeah, it's just an
But
80s slasher
there are some
movie.
pretty cool deaths.
There are.
I will say. Anyway, no, the basic premise, kids are out camping, and one of the counselors is the girl from the first one. She's been rehabilitated and...
got the change, so she's just a girl now.
Yeah, for those who don't remember, in the first one, she was born male. She was forced to present female by her aunt. And after snapping, she got the change, so she's now trying to match what she was raised to be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that she's actually trans, because it was something forced on her, not something that...
It wasn't a choice. It was something that she was forced to live with
she didn't
for
feel like she
19
was a female.
years.
She was told she was a female against her will.
Yeah.
So this is not a commentary on trans rights in any way, shape, or form. This is just, they're trying to just go, remember how for most of the movie you thought she was a girl? We're just going to make this one just a girl.
She's a girl now.
She's just a girl. We can forget that other stuff. The big twist, important part of the first one, let's just ignore that.
Yes.
She's a lady. The end.
Yes. Peter is a lady.
Well, not Peter anymore.
Well,
anyway. And I'm assuming you are trying to think. Is there anything else you want to say before we watch the trailer?
No.
Okay. So I guess we'll show you the trailer so you can see exactly what we're talking about.
There used to be this camp about 60 miles from here. Camp Arawak. All these kids started getting killed. Well, it ended up that the killer was the shy 14-year-old girl that everybody picked on. Except she wasn't...
Baby, you're supposed to be in the cabin. Let's go.
Wait, what happened to the killer?
Whatever happened to the good kids in the world?
Oh, don't talk like that, Uncle John. There's lots of good kids. We just have to weed out the bad.
Remember, ladies, nice girls don't have to show it off.
Where's Phoebe?
I had to send her home. I found her doing things with the boys last night that she had no business doing. I know the rest of you are nice young ladies and you won't get into any trouble.
Let this be a lesson to you. Say no to drugs.
Camp Rolling Hills is the best. Oh, I'm a happy camper. I love the summer sun. I love the trees and forests. I'm always having fun. I don't like being the wicked witch of the West. Hey, but I know what happens when things get out of control. You're gonna tell. Oh, I'm a happy camper. I love the clear blue sky. Good night, campers.
Okay. Warning, you have just seen boobs. No, he has two jobs for this show. Two. I do all the research to find the behind-the-scenes information. When we were doing 4-of-a-kind topics and stuff, would try to pick out the movies most of the time. Sometimes but most. I write all the copy for the commercials. I do basically all of it. He watches a movie and then rates it 1 to 10 and decides what his favorite and least favorite is. His other job, his only job before the show, is to come up with a Green Band trailer and a poster. He was saying to me while that was playing, I had to find one without boobs or stabbings. And almost immediately, boobs.
And then all of the stabbings.
He had one job.
Nah,
Well, 3.
whatever. Expecting
2 ahead and
3 already? Jeez,
This guy. Anyway. Warning, if you're sensitive to these things. So I guess this has been rated TVMA for obvious reasons.
both of them, yeah.
Now, I'm going to need that. Before we get into the behind-the-scenes information, we have to be honest about why we're here.
What?
See, people think that it's because we love horror movies, and we do. But it's all about the money. Let's be honest. We're a capitalist society, and we like making money. And how do we do that? We pimp ourselves out like little hoes and just advertise whatever is out there that will pay us to say it's good. This week, those companies that paid us to say their products are good are... Let's see. Gory Storytime is brought to you by 80s Horror Camping Gear. We at 80s Horror Camping Gear know that multiple generations have grown up with Friday the 13th, Sleepaway Camp, The Blair Witch Project, and Nature Trail to Hell in 3D. And because of this, you are afraid of camping without a way to protect yourself from hockey mask-wearing slashers and teen girls who are forced to kill to protect their secrets. That's where we come in. Sleeping bags with sheathed knives right by your hands for easy access. Holy water to pour around your tent, and more. 80s Horror Camping Gear. Protection from the elements and the insane.
And by I'm a Producer, I'll Do What I Want, the streaming docuseries where we give those in charge of making films the chance to explain why things were changed for the worse. Learn why they made a sequel to The Butterfly Effect. See how it was decided that Nightmare on Elm Street 2 should break the rules of Part 1 and a whole 2-hour episode of what the hell is happening to the MCU. I'm a Producer, I'll Do What I Want, streaming now.
All right. Now, to the behind-the-scenes information, or as Jason likes to call it, the meat and beef of the show.
Or as I would like to call it, the meat and beef of the show.
All right.
Yes. This episode will be brought to you by The Minions.
What? Just come on.
Felissa Rose was asked to return as Angela Baker, and she did a reading, but didn't quite click with the comedic one-liners that Angela delivered in the sequels. She was also preparing to attend college at the time.
Good excuse. According to some cast and crew members, during production and filmings, Pamela Springsteen did not tell anyone that she was Bruce Springsteen's sister. Several found out about it years later. I'm guessing they all eventually did.
I would think so. This film was shot in Waco, Georgia, at a campground formerly known to the locals as Camp Waco. It is now private property. Most of the buildings used in the film are gone now. The restroom, abandoned cabin, and swimming pool are the only things that remain.
Filmed from September 20, 1989 until October 9, 1980... September 20, 1987 until October 9, 1987.
Yes.
Back to back with its sequel, Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland, which shot from October 12th until October 31st in 87. Both were filmed in 6 weeks.
Yeah. The characters Charlie and Emilio, played by Jason Ehrlich,
Yep.
and Justin Noel, are the real-life names of Renee Estevez, who played Molly, brothers Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez.
Yeah. Other characters were also named from actors associated with 80s film culture. Molly was named after Molly Ringwald. Sean was from Sean Penn. Ali Sheedy. TC was for Tom Cruise. Uncle John would be John Hughes. Mayor Winningham. Rob was Rob Lowe. There was Demi from Demi Moore. Leah as in Leah Thompson. Brooke Shields. Jody as in Foster. Anthony as in Michael Hall. Judd as in Nelson. Phoebe as in Cates. And Diane as in Lane. So big names, but just
pretending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Screenwriting credit is given to Fritz Gordon, which is actually a pseudonym for producer Michael Hitchcock, who later went on to star in several films by Christopher Guest.
No doubt. The model used to portray Angela on the VHS art box is Connie Craig. Pamela was unavailable for the photo shoot that day.
Angela's dream sequence was filmed to pad out the movie to the required 80 minutes.
It was short. It was filmed on location at a YMCA youth camp in Waco, Georgia, which
kind of what we already said.
Except that it
Michael A. Simpson said in an interview that since some of the actors were underage, 16 or 17, the Georgia Department of Labor had reps on set the entire time making sure those actors weren't involved in nude scenes or said any dialogue with profanity.
Yep. During the scene where Valerie Hartman's character gets out of the pool braless wearing a wet t-shirt and her nipples are clearly visible, the script was supposed to be, "Hey, Emilio, check out those nips." But the Georgia reps said they couldn't have a kid under the age of 18 say nips, so they changed it to, "Hey, Emilio, party hats at 2 o'clock. This is your tax money, hard at work, making a difference."
Yeah. One of the campers mentions the facts of life. Pamela Springsteen made a guest appearance on the show several years earlier.
Michael A. Simpson said he was the only producer on the movie that actually knew how to produce a movie. Stan Wakefeld and Jerry Silva were producers and executive producers only because their company, Double Helix, distributed the movie. So most of the line producing fell on on Sullivan's shoulders. He said it was really tough on such a low-budget movie.
In the beginning of the movie, the head counselor, TC, is telling a scary story to a group of campers sitting around a campfire. The story he's telling is the beginning of the 1981 horror movie, The House by the Cemetery.
Sleepaway Camp 2 is wrestler Chris Jericho's favorite slasher.
Huh. Valerie Hartman exposing her breasts throughout was named number 16 in its top 20 gratuitous nude scenes of the 80s by website Flashback.
While on location, Brian Patrick Clark and a friend were struck head-on by teens joyriding in a stolen car, resulting in Brian sustaining knee damage and 2 broken ribs.
Huh. Director Michael A. Simpson revealed in an interview that he knew he had his work cut out for his filming a sequel to a popular horror movie, especially one that would have a totally different tone. He said, "Doing any sequels a tricky experience. Sort of like sleeping with another guy's wife or girlfriend.
And Justin Noel, I guess, appeared in another famous camp slasher, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Your favorite.
Yeah, actually, things are starting to add up.
Well, all right. Now, according to most people's belief that know what Rotten Tomatoes is, it's supposed to be the total of all professional reviewers,
critics,
scores, positive and negative, just broke down into what percent are positive. They obviously try to juice some at times. They lower some at times. It's very obvious that they do this.
Yeah, they
It's
have two
weird.
scores for one score, and then they push one in the front.
And then they do that with the people too. But then and you go, well, what people are they cutting out? The only way they could do that is if they're just adjusting it based on their opinions. You know what I mean? But that being said, what do the critics rate this movie? Percentage positive.
62%
Give it
of
positive.
critics sat there with their eyes closed.
No. And I'm assuming that's a 9?
49.
Okay. 49% for the people. I couldn't tell because it looks like a J, a cursive J, which also could be like a weird bent 8. Like, your handwriting stinks.
I should be a doctor.
No, he shouldn't. Do not let him anywhere near your body for any purpose. Unless, of course, the person that heard me say that is his wife. And, I would like grandkids, so you can go ahead
I
and
agree.
let him. Anyway.
Now that it's said on TV,
Yeah.
it is the best option.
Now, since you seem to loathe this movie, we'll go with the opposite. What is your favorite part of this movie?
Some of the kills were really cool.
Most of the kills were really cool.
Most of the kills were cool, yeah.
Gory, bloody, fun. My favorite part, honestly, I'm going to go with some of the more interesting kills. Trying to think, what was the one? There was someone killed in an outhouse.
Yeah.
Covered in feces and being drowned in it, basically.
Yeah.
It was pretty
gross.
So I'll go with that.
Yeah.
What was your least favorite part? Here we go.
Well, so
the fact that
those kills were really cool, and then around them were things, and basically when those things were happening, it was terrible.
He's wrong. And I will say what he really means to say, because we've had this conversation.
Bad. The writing was bad.
No. Okay.
The movie was bad.
No. The only thing wrong with this movie, for a fun slasher horror from the 80s, the only thing wrong with it is that it should not have been a sequel to Sleepaway Camp. If they just called it Bitch in the Woods Murders People, he would have been right in.
It's like, hey,
his wife
the
and
acting
him
is perfectly
liked
bad.
the entire movie, with the exception of, that's not Angela from Sleepaway Camp. This
isn't the caliber acting that they brought in the first one.
No, that was horrible acting.
It was
too.
great acting.
It was awful acting.
The only bad actress in that movie was the aunt.
Oh my word, you don't remember that movie.
I remember
enough.
that movie exactly.
The point is, the only thing wrong with it is, it should have been its own thing. It did not make sense that that character with her reasonings for murder became this character with her reasonings for murder.
And
it didn't line up.
Campy as it is, it would only be fair to rate this as exactly what it is supposed to be. And it is supposed to be a sequel to Sleepaway Camp.
Sure.
And as that movie was virtually flawless...
No, it was not Oh my God.
The more of these movies that I watch, the better the first one's going to get.
Oh, I love the first one, but to call it flawless is ridiculous.
Any movie
Sleepaway Camp is the Schindler's List of horror. No.
I don't remember that part. No. Any movie that dumps scalding, boiling water on a pedophile,
Oh, I'm good with it. Yeah.
all right, it's a perfect movie.
It's not perfect, but
I mean,
it has awesome kills too.
better kills.
Wow, that one was definitely great.
The hair cooler kill.
Yeah,
Yeah. One of the best things never shown on screen.
that's true. It's true. Anyway, on a scale of 1 to 10, then, because now I think we should give it 2 ratings. Rate it as a sequel to Sleepaway Camp first, because that's fair, and then rate it as just a 80s fun slasher movie. So that people understand that as long as they don't care that Angela is a totally different person now, and I mean the character, not just the actress.
Yeah, it's
Like,
all different.
but outside of that, the kills in the movie are
Yeah,
fun.
it's fine. Yeah.
So what would you say as a sequel to Sleepaway Camp?
Like a 2.
Yeah, I'm going to say 3, but yeah, it's a horrible
I think
continuation.
I'm really stretching to give it a 2. Like, this is a complete
Now,
atrocity of
as
the character.
just sitting back and having fun watching the 80s
schlocky, campy
camping slasher.
6.
You know what? I'll say 6.5, but that's fair.
And
But that, by the way, if it's over 5, it means we would be willing to watch it again in general. His problem with watching it again is only that it says Sleepaway Camp 2.
like, I'm not gonna watch this again
Because of the name.
because it's supposed to be a
That
sequel.
said,
it is wrong.
his wife is trying to get me to have us watch the 3rd one, so we'll see.
Yeah, she could watch that with you. I'll watch something good.
Anything else then?
Yeah,
I think we got everything, right?
This is usually the part where I would say it is available to stream some places, and unfortunately for you, it is.
Go watch it if you can get over the fact that there's the character traits that make Angela do what she does are completely
If
different.
Jason 6, if Friday the 13th 6 Jason Lives is your favorite Friday the 13th movie, then you can go watch all of these movies and you'll have a good time, all right?
If you just want to watch fun kills, go watch this movie. If you want it to be a good sequel to a good movie, it's not.
Yeah. Also, if you've never seen the first one,
Put the stuff up on. Well, that would be dumb.
Fact TV, you can watch this show on Fact TV channel 1082. Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m.
You can like us on Facebook, and when I say us, I mean Gory Storytime and Fact TV.
You can like us on like us on Facebook.
I said
You
that.
just said that. You can go to www.fact8.com and watch a bunch of the back episodes of this, as well as many other things, like a lot of other things.
You can follow me on X.
Yes.
I'm at Craig Jakes, all one word, all lowercase.
And I'm at Jiggly Firmbrain. I tweet things that he says that I find funny.
Is it still tweeting if it's not Twitter?
Yes.
Or is it Xing?
It's the platform formerly known as Twitter.
Could be. Anyway, and go to YouTube, type in Gory Storytime. 2 channels will come up. Mine and Fact TV. Like and subscribe to both.
Yes.
Share. Tell people, like, hey, this show's funny. Like, or if you like horror movies, share it with other horror fans.
Yes.
And until next week.
And until next week, hopefully with a better movie, I'll have been your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and father, Craig.
And sweet dreams.